We're under the grey London skies and the watchful look over of the Shard. And what are we doing? Today we're going back to Borough Market. Now this is a video that we did a little time ago, but not only was it not seen by many people at that time, Borough Market has expanded. In fact, we're going to take you around the extended Borough Market, which includes loads of alleyways and loads of places underneath, all round by the side of the south bank of the Thames. So in this video, not only are we going to show you the market and some of the amazing food that you can get here, also some of the great places you can eat as well, but we're also going to take you down all the Borough Market yards as well. So stick with us in this film. For me, Borough Market has this sort of natural attraction when I'm up in London. If I fancy something to eat and I'm anywhere near the city or the south bank of the Thames, this is where I'll head to automatically because you have such a wide choice. Now, if you want to do something a bit more formal, go and sit in a restaurant, etc., you've got that there, you've got pubs. By the way, Monmouth Coffee, if you think you recognise that name, you do, because that's from Monmouth Street in Covent Garden, and they've got a branch here doing just as lovely coffee. So if you're down here, and you're a coffee expertise, a coffee fiend like myself, then this is the place to come for it. But also you've got a fantastic selection of fresh food, plus you've also got some amazing other bits and pieces which tourists seem to flock up for. So you'll be able to see those very, very shortly. And as you can see from this, we were here in the heart of summer, where the strawberries were just beautiful from the British farms, and you'll also see a sea of cherries very, very shortly as well. But you really do get a great cross-section of food here. Also in this video, we're going to show you the local bylaws relating to Borough Market as well. So if you fancy seeing some old things and some old rules that are written up, we'll be showing you those a little bit later. Right, let's have a look. Let's wet your taste buds and see what Mrs. King's pies look like. And believe you me, they look mouth-watering. Just look at these. And I love the fact you can see the gravy oozing out of the one on the middle shelf there as well. Yes, this is going to be one of those videos where you're going to need to pause it at some point and grab yourself some food. Now what we're going to do in this video is not only show you around and show you the other places we haven't shown you before, but we'll also give you a bit of history about this place as well. Now, Borough Market is one of the largest and oldest food markets in London, and apparently there's been a market on this site dating back to at least the 12th century. Whilst the present buildings were built in the 1850s, today the market, as you can see, mainly sells speciality food to the general public, but also lots of opportunities to sell drinks and various other bits. But look at that rum punch. I can't tell you how tempting that was as I was walking around. Also, what this video will not capture is the smell. So here at the Furnace Fish Grill is something you want to come and head to, because just look at the size of the paellas that they're cooking here. Yeah, just look at the size of that. And you can queue up and get your own portion of paella freshly cooked here, and the smells are absolutely incredible. Now, one thing you're going to definitely notice from the video is how busy it is, and there's no point hiding it. It's busy all of the time because everyone seems to flock to Borough Market, and I would suggest if you're coming to London, it's worth coming down just to come and see it yourself, just to come and see all of the fresh produce. It's fantastic. And that also includes these fantastic oysters all sitting here at the oyster bar. And if you're a cheese fiend, Leslie, in the US, I know you are, we've got some lovely shots of cheese shops coming to you very, very shortly, just giving you an idea of the selection of food that you can get here. Right, back to the history. The market itself claims to have existed since 1014, and probably much earlier, as described in Southwark as a great market town when it was describing an incident dated back to 1014. Now, the market that originally adjoined the end of London Bridge was first mentioned in 1276 and subsequently moved south of St Margaret's Church on the High Street. It wasn't until 1550 that Edward VI gave a royal charter to the City of London to control all markets in Southwark, which is what this is, which was confirmed by Charles II in 1671. It's interesting to see that the popularity of this market caused such traffic congestion at that point that in 1554 it was abolished by an Act of Parliament, which was the Southwark Market Act of 1755. Now, a second act later that year, which was the Southwark Market Act number 2 of 1755, allowed for local parishioners to set up another market on a new site. And in 1576, it began again on the 4.5-acre site in Rochester Yard. During the 19th century, it became one of London's most important food markets due to its strategic position right by the riverside wharves of the Pool of London, so that the boats could come in, offload at the wharves, and then they could get the food directly into the market almost immediately. And there you go. This is the first shot of a cheese shop, especially for you cheese fiends out there, and I know we've got lots of them. It's interesting that the market has been in and out of fashion and decline during the years, and in the mid-1990s the market had declined so much that the trustees decided to revive it as a retail rather than a wholesale market, and you can just see what that's done to it today. In 1998 they invited Henrietta Green to hold a food lovers fair, which recruited several long-term traders for the market. And then from 1996 they let unused space to the wholesale businesses such as Neal's Yard Dairy and also Brisindia and the Monmouth Coffee Company, and the new tenants were encouraged to open up their premises to retail customers. Hence you've got Monmouth there today with a beautiful little coffee shop right by the side. Now for me, I love the selection of food that they've got here. So we've seen fish, we've seen meat, we've seen all sorts of fruit. But look at this, you've got cakes, you've also got different types of bread as well. So it really does suit everybody's tooth. And also you might have seen earlier, got the spice shops as well. You've really got a big cross section of foods here. So it's worth coming down to come and have a look. You never know what you might find and take away. But all I'm going to say again is just be prepared for the crowds, because it really is that busy. And for those that love their cheese, here comes another cheese shop. It's almost as if this video has been made specially for you. It hasn't, there's other bits and pieces still to come. And one of the amazing things about here is not just the sights and the sounds, but the smell. The smell of the food is absolutely incredible. And when you're round here and you're smelling the cheeses, and you're going to see olives a little bit later as well, and you'll be able to smell the smell of the olives and the different things that they've put with the olives. They're just absolutely gorgeous. So it's one of those places where you can really let the senses run away with you. And you'll be pleased to know, there you go, you've got the allergy notices all around, so if you're allergic to cheese, don't come out anywhere near here. Now, one of the things I have noticed as you're walking around is that the opportunity to taste some of the produce to see if you actually want to buy it are absolutely immense. So if you're going around and you're not sure, do ask for a taste. And can you just imagine how full you'd be after doing most of the places that they've got here? Obviously, you can't just have an apple, try it and do that. But anyway, along the cheese place and along the olive place, which you're just going to see in a couple of seconds, they were certainly giving out tasters. So it's well worth asking if you're not sure. Because don't forget, the sellers are trying to sell their produce, and they're hoping they're going to sell it to you if you're coming down. So we've seen the local produce of fruit and veg. How about homemade chutneys, jams and marmalades? There you go. You've got a whole collection there. It really is for the food feast. Now here also, there you go, you could see him having a taste of an olive. You've got various types of cheeses over here, but on the other side here on the left, you've got tubs of olives. And wow, the smell is absolutely incredible, especially near the garlic ones, which are my personal favourites. So from the smell of the olives to here, the Spice Mountain. Now this doesn't smell so much because everything is sealed up, but certainly by looking at what they've got on offer here, I think you could probably pretty much get any types of spice that you want. So if you're looking for all different types, and as you can see, you've got everything there, Oriental, Middle East, North Africa, all classified in the different types of spices and the origins of the spices as well. You can get down here and probably get pretty much most of what you need. So just think about how busy this place is now, and they close it every so often to do filming. Some major films have been done here, including Bridget Jones's Diary, a couple of the Harry Potter films, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and loads and loads of others. But can you imagine closing this down for the day and how much business they lose? And there you go, we've got food places, but we've also got a barber's shop here as well. Needless to say, I didn't get the chance to try it. Not that I'd need to anyway. Right, sea of cherries, look at these. Up in the middle of the market, if you look up, you know, in London, got to look up because you'll miss things otherwise. You've got this, which is the schedule of rents, and these are the original rents from years ago when this place was built in about 1875. And if you pause the video, you'll be able to read through and see how much rent was charged to different people coming and selling here. Now, for some unknown reason, the queue for this area is always massive, and they're selling fruit drinks, fresh fruit drinks, which you can see here, and also around the corner you've got tubs and tubs of strawberries they're selling, which you can put chocolate on as well. So you can see the queue here is absolutely massive. But just look at those beautiful fresh strawberries. Yep, you can almost smell it coming out of the video, can't you? Now, here's a tip for you. Whilst most of the market traders will accept card, I would definitely suggest bringing some cash down as well, because not all market traders do. So definitely come down here and bring some cash with you. Right, the coffee shop we've just seen here is probably the best coffee shop here in the middle of Borough Market. I would suggest stopping there. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a coffee shop, aren't I? Coffee shop tour for London. Start a new channel on that, I think, because I know you guys like to know where the best places are to drink. Plus here, look at some of these beautiful breads. Oh, and more cheese, just for a change. Love it. And it's good to see as well, you've got all sorts of tastes catered for, including vegan and gluten-free as well. And if you really fancy treating out, how about that? A fudge stand as well. Now, if you've been to Borough Market, I'd love to know in the comments down below. And how much did you spend whilst you were there? Did you walk away with arms full of bags with all the different foods in there? Absolutely incredible. I bet you did. Anyway, if you didn't, you need to head out to here. Now, this is Bread Ahead, where, yes, you guessed it right, you can get all sorts of bread. But not only that, they do some amazing donuts. So if you fancy a lovely sugary donut with all different types of fillings, just look at these in the row down here. And people are queuing right down the street to get to these. Now, one thing to be aware of for the sake of sound is the fact that a lot of Borough Market is right under the railway line leading into London Bridge Station, which is one of the busiest railway stations in London. So you're never more than a couple of seconds away from a train passing overhead and the noise that that brings into the market, which just adds to the general feeling of it all. Now, coming down here and down this part here, you've got some amazing places where you can get food. Also, there's a seating area as well. But as you'll see in just one second, often it's like a bit of a fight to find a bit of space to sit down and eat the food that you've just bought off the local places here. But the selection is amazing. For me, my little secret, this is the area that I come down to and get my food. And I must admit, the only place I come and have salt beef sandwiches are pretty much here from this vendor. And no, they haven't thrown me a free one as way of promotion. It's just where I come. And often I'll try and sit up there on those steps right in the middle. But as you can see, quite often you're fighting for a little bit of space to sit down and chill. So often I'll just go walk outside and go and find a seat near Southwark Cathedral, which is another video that we've got here on this channel coming to you very shortly, if we've not posted already. Now, do be prepared. If you're coming down here and you're coming down here with very young children, it really is very busy. So, number one, keep hold of them really, really tight. And if you're queuing up for something, make sure that they keep with you as well, because the way that the crowds operate down here, they do move quite quickly. You don't want to get them carried away. So just be really, really mindful of that. We want you to come down here and have a great time. And it's well worth doing because the food is beautiful and makes it well worth the trip. Okay, so that's our look at Borough Market. We're now going to go to a separate section that's opened up very recently. And as we exit Borough Market, we're going to head off towards Borough Yards, which is a beautiful new area that they've developed. And for me, one of my favourite walks is the walk along the South Bank, walking from Westminster Bridge down towards Borough Market and to London Bridge. And of course, you come in via this way as well, right into Borough Market. So Borough Yards has really now started opening up, and really it's just around the corner from Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, sort of sandwiched between that and Borough Market. And when you go in underneath the railway tunnels here, you've got it all decorated out, and you've got some more amazing places to eat and to shop as well. And every so often you've got different people turning up to sell their wares. There you go, that's all sorts of cookies. Then you've got a gin, whiskey and vodka and rum place. Go on, I dare you to go to ask for a sample there. And you've got chocolate shops, you've got all sorts of things. And here in the middle of summer, right in front of the Everyman Cinema, you have a big TV set up for the sports events of the summer as well. So you can come in here, sit down and catch some of the things that are on. And as you can see, when I came down here, it was early July and Wimbledon was on. So that whole area of Borough Yards has completely been refurbished. A lot of the time this was sort of a derelict area, and they've really gone to town and made it into a new modern space, which is quite interesting because you've got Borough Market next door, which claims to be the oldest market in London, compared to this, which is probably one of the newest parts of London. So you've got the juxtaposition between the two. God, that's quite a posh word, isn't it? I wonder where that came from. So because it is brand new, you've got lots of shops and retail outlets, but not every single shop and retail outlet has been opened yet. So there's plenty of vacancies. So coming down and filming now may well look different to when you come down, purely because more will have opened since then. But it's great to come down here and see what they've got available. Now, one of the videos that we shot a little while ago was a South Korean experience called Delight, and that is down this way as well. And I'll put a link to that video up in the top right hand corner, because if you're coming down here, you may as well make a whole time of it. So while this area is quite uncovered and open to the elements, we're about to go into what's called Dirty Lane. And down here, which is all part of Borough Yards, you've got more shops and more outlets, but it's undercover, and it's undercover of the railway arches. So again, you've got lots of railway traffic going overhead, but you've got a labyrinth, there's little side streets here where you can walk up and down and see what's going on. And in many of the retail outlets that haven't opened yet, they put it in different sort of neon lights, just to make it look a little bit more attractive as you're passing through. And if you worry you're going to walk down here and get lost, have no fear. Look down. Yes, not up this time, and you'll see on the floor you've got the different directions to the different areas as well. There you go, and that just gives you a view down here underneath the railway arches of just some more of the shops and more of the things that you can visit. So as you can see, you've got quite a mix, but obviously with lots and lots of food outlets here as well. And then as you walk out and you come right down the bottom here, you come out by Clink Street. Now, if you think you know if you've heard of Clink Street before, that's because one Halloween we came to the Clink Street prison, which is just around the corner from here. And if you go, that's if you go one way. If you go the other way, you end up at Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. There we go, we're out on Clink Street now. I have to admit, Borough Yards is definitely going to be one of these places I'm going to come back to time and time again, just as it continues to grow, to see what other outlets open up down here. And as I said, we've got a complete cross section, and here you've got its own hat shop. So if you're looking for your own hat in London, why not come down here, and they'll help you out and get you fitted up, I'm sure. So what I'd love to know is if you were coming down to Borough Market for the first time, what would you hit first? Would you go to Borough Yards? Would you go to Borough Market? And if you're hitting Borough Market, what sort of food would you head for first? Be really interesting to know. To do, let us know in the comments down below. And I really hope you've enjoyed our video here on Borough Market and also Borough Yards. Once again, an area that's only just opened up, Borough Yards, but well worth exploring as it expands more and more. So one of the places literally round the corner from Borough Market, in fact when you're in Borough Market you can see it, is Southwark Cathedral, and we've been there very recently, so if you're going to Borough Market you might just want to pop in there because it's completely free and the architecture in there is incredible. It almost rivals that of Westminster Abbey and St Paul's Cathedral. So if you click on the video in the top right hand corner, I'll see you in there.